Hey guys, I'm Deb if you're new here. Today we are going to be playing with the Berries by Juvia'S, and the reason why I picked this up is because when I was buying the e.l.f. bite-size eyeshadow palettes, my favorite one ended up being the berry one, which really surprised me, and I thought, oh, okay. I didn't realize that that was a color scheme that I would enjoy so much. So I thought, okay, I need to get the Juvia's Place one. So what you get here are, you get 3 mattes, 2 shimmers, and 1 shadow that has like pinpoints in it. That's a thing that a lot of companies are doing now. This is the one with the pinpoints. It looks like a matte, but then if you look at it closely and you tilt it, you can see the pinpoints. So this is a shimmer, this is a shimmer, this is a matte, this is a matte, this is a matte. So a lot of times if I'm going to use a palette for the first time, I do swatches to really give me a good idea of how that shadow is going to look on my skin. So that's what we're going to do first. Now I have said in the past that swatches are no indication of how an eyeshadow is going to perform, and I still feel that that's true. You can have something that swatches beautifully and then it doesn't go on your skin nice at all, and vice versa. So this is just to see how the colors look on me. Okay, so we're going to do the top row first. Ooh, that shimmer has a funny texture to it. So there's the finger swatches. And then there they are applied. Okay, so see now the first matte in the palette is even and pigmented, and the second one is a bit streaky. And the shimmer looks like a duochrome. Okay, so I just had to wipe off my fingers there. So in the second row, we've got a shimmer, the matte with the pinpoints, and then a matte without pinpoints. And there are the shades. Wow. Yeah, these are some really intense colors. Okay. So there are the 6 shades. Okay, so I just had to clean off my fingers again. All right, so looking at these colors, I'm very curious about this one. It looks like a duochrome in the swatch, and I think as far as a crease shade goes, when I look at the options that I have, this would be really dark for a crease. This would be really bright for a crease. And then I have these 2 choices here. I think that would be really bright for a crease. The one that didn't swatch that great is the lightest one. And I think I'm going to try going with that. And if it doesn't work out, I can always layer something else on top of it. So we're going to start off using these 2. Yeah, because I really am curious about this. Is this a duochrome? Is it not a duochrome? Is it just the way it's swatched? We'll find out. All right, now if you watched my last 2 videos, you know that I am nuts about the e.l.f. Multisticks. And so you probably saw this coming a mile away, but I had mentioned in one of those videos that Target sells the rose, the peach, and the berry. So yeah, I've got the berry one. And I actually have this on my cheeks, which I go very light-handed with my blush, so you might not even be able to see that. I don't have it on my lips though. I have a traditional bullet lipstick with a liner on my lips. If you want to know anything about the other products I already have on my face, you can just look in the description box. The information will always be there for every video. So this is the berry, and the full name is Luminous Berry. So I like to use these as eyeshadow bases. You get a tiny bit of creasing with them, but it's so minimal that it's not an issue for me. All right, so I'm just going to take a Wet n Wild large shader brush and I'm going to put some of this on the brush, and we're going to go in with this as our colored base. I love using colored bases with my eyeshadows, and I had gotten away from that for some reason. Well, actually, I know exactly why. Because when I had done a declutter of my collection, I had to throw away a ton of my colored bases because of their age. So I didn't really have any options anymore. Well, I had some, but not that many. So I'm gonna have to focus on my future purchases, trying to stock back up again on colored bases, because I don't really have that many right now. I did pick up a couple things recently that I haven't shown you. I'll probably just, include those in a future video in some capacity. Okay, so I'm trying to make this even as far as the amount of product that I'm got on each eye, because that's kind of important as far as how the eyeshadows are gonna cling to it and what colors they're gonna be and whatnot. So I might want to just put a tiny bit more on this eye just to balance it out. Now, of course, you can just use a traditional clear eyeshadow primer if you would like. This is definitely not a necessary step, but I don't know. The way eyeshadows look over these, they just have a luminosity about them, and the way the light catches them and stuff, it's just really pretty. Okay, so I think I'm going to let's do the lid shade first, because I'm dying to see how that shade that looks like it might be a duochrome is going to look. So that is this one right here. So I'm just going to use a MAC 239 shader brush and put some of that on the brush, tap off the excess. Okay, so it seems to be applying okay over the e.l.f. Multistick. And even though this didn't swatch good, it's going on pretty smoothly on my eyelid. Wow, that's really pretty. I say that a lot, don't I? But it is. Okay. All right, now I think I'm going to go in with a Profusion ES2 brush, which looks like that. And we're going to pick up some of that matte shade that I said I was going to use. And we're going to put that in the crease. Yeah, I think I made the right choice, because while those others are really deep, and I think this pairs nicely with this, although I think I am going to use an additional matte shade for the outer corner area, because otherwise it's just going to be like too one-dimensional. We want to have some some kind of contrast there. Yeah, wow, that's, once they're on, they look very similar in color. Okay, so let's take this AOA Studio E105 brush, which is a pointed crease brush, and let's go into this first matte shade. Pick up some of that. And we're going to go just in the outer corner here. A little bit on the outer lids. In the outer crease. That's not giving as much contrast as I thought it was going to. Okay, if I look at it straight on, I do see some contrast. I'm afraid if I go in with this color, I don't think that's going to look good. I suppose I could try that, but I don't think... All right, why don't I just try adding a bit more of the same shade, because I don't think those other colors would work as well. Okay, now I'm seeing some contrast. All right, that's better. All right, now I'm going to switch back to that brush that I was using before and just try to blend a little bit where the two meet. Okay, now what I want to do is use sort of an unconventional eyeliner shade. I've had this for a while, and I think this is one of the ones that I just replaced. This is the AOA Studio Buttercream Gel Liner, and this is the shade Red Velvet. It's a matte, like blood red. And I'm going to use a Profusion ES7 brush. This is going to be a bold look. Ooh, okay. And now I'm going to take a Profusion ES4 brush. And let's see. So we've used this, this, and this so far. So why don't we take this underneath the eyes? I like that shade. Okay, it always looks kind of crazy without mascara. So let's curl my lashes. And this is Maybelline the Falsies Lash Lift Mascara. So for the moment, I'm just going to put some of that on my lower lashes. And now I'm going to use Milani, the Violet one, lash primer. Wipe off the excess. Go back to the Maybelline mascara. Okay, that definitely helped. I feel like this look really needs a highlight shade. You know, sometimes I just skip it, but I mean, it looks really empty there. And I also think that I need to take this out and fill that corner in a little bit. Okay, so let's go back to the pointed crease brush and this deep shade right here. And we're gonna extend this out more with that deep shade. Oh, that's much better. Okay. Yeah, it was looking kind of empty there. Okay, now I still think it needs a highlight shade. So the highlighter that I used on my face was my MAC Cosmetics Iridescent loose powder in Silver Dusk, which, as I always say, is a misnomer because it's not silver. It's beige. And we're going to take a e.l.f. contour brush, and I'm just going to go into what's in the container here. Just swirl my brush around in there a little bit. And I'm just kind of dabbing this because, you know, this is like very prominent glitter. So I'm just kind of like mildly stippling it there. Okay, now I would say that the edges of this outer corner area need to be blended a bit. So we're going to take a clean blending brush. This is an AOA Studio E129 brush. And we're going to very carefully blend out the edges. I still don't feel like that's enough contrast. Should we go into that really dark shade? I think we're going to have to. Because it's like too... I mean, I like monochromatic looks as much as the next person, but it's just too similar for me. Let me grab another brush. Okay, this is an AOA Studio E128 brush, and we are going to pick up some of that darkest shade and go in that corner. Okay, yeah, I think I like that better. Yeah, it needed more contrast. All right, that's better. Okay, now I'm going to try to duplicate what I did on this eye over here and be right back. Okay, so that is the finished look, and honestly, I feel like I do like the look, but I feel like it overwhelms my skin tone. I think this look would look amazing on somebody with deeper skin tone than me. And Juvia's Place is a black-owned brand, so it makes sense that they would choose colors that would suit them better. I mean, if you look at the picture up here, you see a light-skinned African descent person and then a deeper skinned one. So yeah, I think these colors are maybe a bit too bright and deep for my skin tone, but I mean, I do kind of like the way they pop against my blue eyes, but it is what it is, I guess. So not the most flattering look I've ever done on myself, but I think this is a very nice palette, and that lid shade does appear to be duochrome. I can see a couple of colors in there, so it does seem to be a duochrome. So ultimately, I ended up using every shade in this palette with the exception of the bright pink pinpoint one. And it is sort of a bright pink look ultimately anyway. But that's it for today, you guys. I hope you found this, if not useful, interesting maybe. And thank you for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.